Hi everyone. I've got some stuff that I wanted to share with you today, but I just wanted to show you all the mess of my craft room right now. But let me clean it up and I'll be right back and show you what I've been working on. Okay, back now. Tidy desk, nice and pretty. Doesn't happen a lot. I just wanted to go through with you guys just some cards I've just been making, and I thought maybe it might be a bit interesting to hear my thought process of how I went through them. I don't know, maybe it'd be really boring and no one will watch this YouTube video, but anyway, I'll put it out there. Okay, so I had a bit of a mind block. I wanted to create some stuff and I didn't know what to do. So I grabbed out the Current Occasions catalogue and I thought I'm going to case something from it, and that's where I can start. So I got the this set here, which I haven't had much of a play with yet. So this is the Crazy About You and the matching Thinlit set, Thinlit dies that come with it. So you don't have to use them together, but they are really nice to use together. So I thought that's where I will start, and I really liked this card here. So even though I didn't have the same colours, like I don't have the Bermuda Bay ribbon, I thought I'll start somewhere. So the retirement list is out and we're losing the in colours from the, I can never remember which years they are, but it's the Baked Brown Sugar, Crisp Cantaloupe, Strawberry Slush, Coastal Cabana and Pistachio Pudding, and I love those colours. So my first point of call was I grabbed out all of my cut-offs. So I keep all of my cardstock cut-offs sort of by colour in a filer folder thing. So I grabbed out just a whole big handful of those. Which you may have seen in the messy version was all over my desk. And then I just grabbed out the inks to match with it, the markers, and I just sort of grabbed the in colour things that I had. So there was a bit of washi, the in colour sequins, the twine. I just sort of grabbed what I had around and see what I could do. So what I came up with following this one is I did this card here. So it's not quite the same as the example, but it's just where it just started me off. So you can see that I've used the same stamp in the background, and I've used the doily behind the word, and then I've used washi tape instead of some ribbon, and a little banner down here. So you can see where I sort of got this from is from here. So I didn't have to think much about this. I just sort of had to think, which word did I want to use and what am I going to use instead of that ribbon, and which colours. So I really like this one, how it's got the white doily on the white background, but I decided to try this and see how a colour on the doily and then a different colour as the background would work. So I was pretty happy with that. So from there I went to this one. Now I did this because the butterfly framelits are sitting in a case with my word Thinlits. So it was out on my desk, and I thought it's really pretty, the doily in the background with the intricacy of it. So I thought maybe another die that had that sort of intricacy behind the words would work. So that's why I went with this one. So I did a doily as well, and I stamped on the doily, and then I cut out a butterfly, and the words just didn't stand out straight on top of that butterfly, so I had to put a banner behind there. So that's some of the in colour stack pattern paper there with some washi, and then I put the words on, and then my sewing machine is just next to my desk, so I ran it all through the sewing machine. And I added some of the in colour sequins. Oh, and I had stamped my cardstock base with that stamp all the way around, and I really love that. So I went from that to that. So just casing that from the catalogue got me thinking to create this, which is completely different to this. So that's just how my mind worked, which is a little bit scary. So from there, I went to this one. So I thought back to this and thought maybe I'll use the white background with the white doily with the word, but I wanted to step it up and do something different. So I decided to use that stamp a couple of times in my background. And then I cut out the centre of this, well, I stamped another one and cut out the centre of that one. And then as my middles, I used the sequins. And I used a bit of washi underneath, because I still liked that idea of having the line underneath. But so it's actually the same colour, it's both Crisp Cantaloupe, so I just wanted to see how that would work. And I thought maybe the lighter pink on the darker pink, it got a bit lost here. So what I did was I created it in the opposite colours. So it's exactly the same card, just all the pinks are opposite, except for the washi, which I don't have a Strawberry Slush washi tape. So this one stands out a lot better. But I like both cards. In real life, this is actually not as hard to see, but when I took a photo of it, it was really hard to see. So yeah, so I was really happy with this card. I really like this one. So I will create this in different colours. But for this, I sat down with just the in colours. I just wanted to make different cards with in colours. But normally in my process, if I like a card, I'll go make it in different colours and see if it looks even better. Okay, so from there, I really like that, but I wanted to go back to the simplicity of this. So I went back to this. So I'll use the white background again. A very similar concept at the back here with a doily with the word, with some washi at the back. But I just stamped the birthday straight underneath here. And then a tiny bit of the washi down here. And then I ran it through the sewing machine again. Oh, it's hard to show you. But yeah, I just stitched the whole way through and down here to give it a bit of texture. And I really like this one too. So this one's very close back to this one. But it's different. Okay, so then from there, I went back to the butterfly. I like the butterfly. And I was thinking about back with this one, that the Coastal Cabana Thanks didn't stand out very well on the butterfly background. But I think it's because the background was too busy. It had baked brown sugar and the white from the doily and the pink from the butterfly. So there was too much colour underneath there for the word to show. So I thought about it and thought maybe if I did a tone-on-tone butterfly with just all the one colour background, then the word will stand out a lot more, even though the butterfly is quite intricate, but because it's got the Strawberry Slush coming through those holes, the word stood out a lot better, and it did. I really like this one. So you can't see the butterfly pop because it does meld into that background, but it's still there and you can still see the texture of it. So I really love how that one turned out. So I just added a bit of the twine and a bit of the sequins there. So that one's really cute, so that worked well. But I did use the dark pink, because I think if I used the Crisp Cantaloupe, it still wouldn't have popped as much. So I really like that. And then I thought, maybe the background's a little bit too plain, so I'll see what I can do. And I went back to this one, where I really liked that tone on tone with that stamp on the back. So then I created this one. So for this one, it's exactly the same, except I've stamped that flower with Strawberry Slush on the Strawberry Slush background. That's a word to say 5 times fast. So that really still stood out, but I didn't go for the twine to wrap around or the sequins. I decided to add this birthday down here, and I think that really set off between that word happy and the birthday down here. It really connected those two. So I really liked both of those. So this looks a lot more simpler, like the simplicity of it, whereas this is a lot more, it's a more busier, but that word still pops out from that whole background. Even though it's really busy, it really pops out. So that's where I got to all of these. So I was really, really happy that I sat down with no mojo thinking, what am I going to do? And I've ended up with a heap of cards that I really love. And I haven't finished. I've still got things in my mind. So I'm going to turn the camera off now, set up for the next thing. So this is the last one I did. I'm going to go from this, but I'll switch off and go into fast forward mode, and I will do a voiceover explaining through my process with that one. All right. Okay, so jumping up from that last card, I really liked using the background, and I wanted to switch back to using a white background with that flower stamp. So I decided to step away from Strawberry Slush and go back to Baked Brown Sugar, which is my favourite of the in colours, and decided to stamp up the whole back as with the flower to make a whole the whole piece of the background the same as that previous card. And I wanted to step back away from having the butterfly and go back to that the sample out of the catalogue and just having the word on the back with the doily. So I'd already had a happy cut out in Baked Brown Sugar from the dies from my previous playing around. So I just put the doily down. I thought I'll just add a little bit of the Coastal Cabana washi. So I'll just make this 2 colours, but mainly that Baked Brown Sugar. So I just laid them out the same as I did the other cards, and I went away and sewed through that just to give it that little bit extra texture there. And I just cut off the ends, and as long as I've got some washi or sticky tape on the back to make sure that the ends don't come back through, then I'm happy just have little bits hanging off there, so it just adds a little bit of the texture. So then I just thought about how I wanted to have the little birthday, because I want to make this happy birthday. So I grabbed out a little bit of the Whisper White scraps that I had with all my scraps on my desk, and I just played around here with where I thought maybe I would want it. I thought about adding some of the twine, but it just didn't really sit right because I've got the washi tape there under the happy. It just didn't work having the twine there as well. So I just went with having this similar birthday that I had on the last card, tying them in together with the happy and the birthday. So I just decided to do the same similar sort of thing, but I had it a lot closer to that happy. That would tie them together. So that's basically the card. Oh, sorry, I did add a couple of the sequins in the Baked Brown Sugar in the centre of those couple of flowers there. I really love how those sequins sit in the middle of that flower. It's so pretty. So I tried Coastal Cabana and Baked Brown Sugar, and I went with the Baked Brown Sugar. The Coastal Cabana still looked nice, but I think Baked Brown Sugar looked nicer. So yeah, so that's it. That's my last card I did for that. I would have kept going, just playing around, changing ideas. However, I ran out of time. We can only last so long. So I hope you enjoyed the process I went through here on how I create some cards. Leave me some comments if you want to. I'd love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. You can check out all the details on my blog, scrapronnie.com.